Demolition Man was released in 1993, directed by Marco Brambilla, and starring Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, and Sandra Bullock. A police officer is brought out of suspended animation in prison to pursue an ultra-violent nemesis who is loose in a non-violent future society. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Backtrack Cinema. My name is Jason, and welcome to my review of Demolition Man. So yeah, guys, been a while since we've done a Stallone review. You know, Stallone's my favorite. I love Stallone, so I thought, why not? Let's for 90s action, let's do some Demolition Man. I remember going to the theater in 1993 to see this movie. Was excited for it. Had a great time with it. You know, it's one of those ones I have seen many times. It's your fun sci-fi action Stallone flick, and you know, really in a lot of ways, Wesley Snipes really steals the show in this movie as the villain, Simon Phoenix. Before we get into the review, if you haven't yet subscribe to the channel, slap a like on this video. It really helps the review out and the channel out a lot. So what we really have here, guys, is a sci-fi action film with Stallone as good, Wesley Snipes as evil, a good versus evil kind of story. And the way they set this story up, where these two are going at it, whenever he's catching his bad guy, he ends up destroying things, and so it's nicknamed him the Demolition Man. And Wesley Snipes' character sets him up really good, where there's all these bodies in this place he blows up, and he ends up getting, you know, killing like, you know, manslaughter for like 40 people or whatever. What they do for criminals in their sentencing is they freeze them, so they end up freezing Simon Phoenix, Stallone, and like 35, 36 years later, something like that. And Wesley Snipes gets unthawed and starts wreaking havoc on this future society, and they unthaw Stallone to go after him because they need, this is an old school villain, we need an old school cop. And the world building in the future is pretty entertaining. So in the future, there is no more violence. Everything that is bad for you is illegal. The world is a very sugar-coated, yuppie kind of place where everyone is dancing to the same drum. There's no more individuality. There's no more freedom. You know, and yet the people who are in it don't really know, because they don't know what the past was like. They only saw the past as violence and anarchy and all that kind of stuff. The movie's an action film. It's a science fiction film, but it's also a satire that's dealing with how everyone's conforming to the same idea. Everyone does things the same. Everyone thinks the same. There's no freedom of speech. There's no conforming to your own ideas. There's any of that kind of stuff. And there's a really cool speech by Dennis Leary here, where he leads a bunch of rebels in the underground. He does this kind of speech that says everything that is wrong with the way all these people are living above ground and stuff like that.
I'm into freedom of speech and freedom of choice. I'm the kind of guy who likes to sit in a greasy spoon and wonder, gee, should I have the T-bone steak or the jumbo rack of barbecue ribs with the side order of gravy fries? I want high cholesterol.
So I do like the satire approach, and I think the movie does have something to say. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, when Stallone, you know, takes care of Simon Phoenix and everything, all these people who were conforming to this one idea are now showing their own individuality. You know, it's all about being an individual. We don't all think the same. You know, we're all different. You know what I mean? And they tried to conform a whole society of everyone thinking the same, everyone being the same. So I think that's a really cool ideas in it. And the really real, a lot of the entertainment is, where all the laughter is seeing, you know, Stallone, this old school cop, trying to fit into this future world where he just doesn't fit in. He's like a caveman in this world. When you swear, you get a ticket. You know what I mean? There's a whole funny gag with 3 seashells. They don't got toilet paper no more. There's 3 seashells. They eat at Taco Bell. Taco Bell is the only restaurant and everything like that. Which in the original theatrical release, it was Taco Bell. But now when I rewatch this, they changed everything to Pizza Hut. So there must have been some kind of legalities here. Stallone's still awesome in this movie. He's your, you know, does what he does best as an action star, delivers the action. You get a lot more of a comical Stallone, and I think what he's doing, everything really works and everything like that. He plays off Sandra Bullock really well. This was I think one of the first things I ever seen Sandra Bullock in. And cute as a button, as Leanna Huxley, I think. She is absolutely hilarious in this movie. And she's the type of character who wants a little action, who's obsessed with the 20th century and stuff like that. So, like, John Spartan to her is like this hero, right? This old school cop and everything like that. And She just wants a little bit more excitement as a cop. She wants to get into the fights. She wants to get into something a little bit more nasty, I guess, and then bites off more than she can chew, really. Because this is society that's never seen anyone get murdered. So when Wesley Snipes gets thawed out, he's just killing everyone, going to find a gun, wreaking chaos. He just wants anarchy and chaos running through this whole city, watching the whole thing burn. And he's having so much fun in this movie. Wesley Snipes really steals the movie from everyone in this. He is fantastic in this. He's hilarious, plays off Stallone really, really, really well. And I just like how much fun he's having with this character. He's tough. He could be a physical presence, but he's also this huge jokester too, who's very sarcastic and everything like that. So really, I like Wesley Snipes, what he brings to this role here. It actually has a really fun little cast to it because you also got, besides Snipes, Sandra Bullock, Stallone, you got Dennis Leary, you got the warden there from the Shawshank Redemption. I forget his name. You got Benjamin Bratt here. So you got a lot of actors, actresses who went on to do big things after this movie and everything like that. One of the things it dives into is control. One of the characters we find out who made this whole future society of everyone conforming to the same beat, not having individuality, was a method of control. It's just control. It's trying to control people. And he tries to control Simon Phoenix when he thaws him out because he wants them to kill the Dennis Leary character because this guy doesn't march to the same beat that this future does. And so it's really all he makes this future saying this future is glorious. There's no there's no cancer, there's no death, there's no murders. It's a perfect society, but it really isn't. It really shows that you try to control something you can't, but also shows that when you have something completely good, there's always got to be that balance of good and evil. For me anyway, that's what I get out of this movie a lot. You can't just be all bad. A future, a society, society can't be all good. There's got to be there's this little balance of everything, of good and evil, throughout this movie, which I really like. And of course, it's a great action movie too. You get explosions, you're gonna get chases, you get fisticuffs, you get good martial arts and fight scenes between Stallone and Snipes. So all that stuff is good. It's, really fits into that 1993, early 90s kind of action film and stuff like that. And, I could really pull the movie completely apart. There's some cheesy moments. There's this, there's that. I look at movies like this, and these are movies that you sit and you just have fun with. It's a popcorn action movie, though there is a little more to say with this one, though. You're not going to get no surprises. You know exactly where the movie's going. It's good versus evil. Stallone's going to get his guy. You get this fun sci-fi action movie with good characters and playing into a satirical nature, and just have fun with it. So on your next movie watch, you want to put on some Sylvester Stallone, put on Demolition Man. You'll have a good time with the one-liners, the action, and the characters. I'm going to give Demolition Man from 1993 a solid B. What about you guys? Do you like Demolition Man or don't you like it? Let me know in the comments what you think of this video, what you think of this movie. I'll have a great discussion on Demolition Man and all that jazz. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Put a like on the video as it helps the channel a lot. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema. I will see you next time, and I will see you in the movies. Cheers.